The first salute came before anyone understood why it happened on a quiet morning at a coastal base where authority was measured by patches, posture, and how loudly someone spoke. A Navy SEAL leaned against the railing, smiling as he looked at the woman walking past him. He tilted his head and asked her rank like it was a joke. The question drew laughter from a few nearby soldiers. Seconds later, the entire base stood at attention and raised their hands in salute when her name was spoken. Asterisk, what city are you watching from today? If this story resonated with you, hit subscribe for more stories about extraordinary people. No one laughed after that. Her name was Captain Eliza Warren, though almost no one on that base knew it yet. She did not wear the confidence people expected from someone with her authority. She walked with calm restraint, eyes forward, boots steady, as if she belonged nowhere and everywhere at once. To most, she looked like a junior officer assigned to paperwork or logistics. To those who believed rank was always loud, she seemed invisible. Eliza had learned early that silence could be armor. She grew up in a family where service was tradition, not pride. Her father had served quietly and returned home quieter still. He taught her that respect was not demanded. It was earned when no one was watching. When she chose the Navy, she chose the hardest paths and spoke about them the least. Her records were impressive, but records did not walk into a room ahead of her. She preferred it that way. The base she arrived at was known for its confidence. It housed some of the most elite operators in the world. Strength was obvious there. Reputation mattered. People watched one another closely, measuring skill with quick glances and sharper words. Eliza arrived with simple orders and no announcement. She was there to assess readiness and leadership. She was also there to observe how people behaved when they believed no one important was watching. The first few days were exactly what she expected. Conversations stopped when she approached, then resumed when she passed. Some greeted her politely, others barely noticed her. A few tested her, asking questions with thin smiles, challenging her decisions in subtle ways. Eliza responded with clarity and restraint. She never raised her voice. She never explained more than necessary. Then came the morning that changed everything. The training yard was already alive with movement. Commands were being issued, drills repeated, confidence displayed. Eliza crossed the open space with a folder in her hand, reviewing notes in her mind. She was focused on timelines and evaluations when a voice cut across her path. Hey, Lieutenant. Or maybe Ensign. What is it today? The voice belonged to a Navy SEAL known for his skill and his humor. He was respected, even admired. His tone was playful, but there was an edge beneath it. A few others turned to watch. Moments like this were small tests. Everyone on that base understood them. Eliza stopped. She looked at him calmly. Captain Warren, she said. The SEAL smiled wider. Captain. Sure. Then what is your real rank? A few chuckles followed. Not cruel, but dismissive. Eliza felt the familiar weight of expectation pressing against her. She could correct him. She could explain. She could pull rank and end the moment. Instead, she did what she had done her entire career. She said nothing. She met his eyes, steady and unflinching, then continued walking. The laughter faded into confusion. The SEAL shrugged, still smiling, but something in her silence unsettled him. People returned to their tasks. The moment passed, or so they thought. An hour later, a command meeting was called. Senior officers filled the room, including the base commander. Eliza took her seat near the end of the table. Some glanced at her, curious why she was there. Others did not notice her at all. The commander began the briefing with routine updates. Then his tone changed. Before we continue, he said, I want to formally welcome Captain Eliza Warren. Every head turned. Captain, Warren is here on direct assignment from Naval Special Warfare Command. She has operational authority over this base for the duration of her evaluation. The room went still. The commander continued, listing her credentials, deployments, commendations, and leadership roles. Each sentence landed heavier than the last. Missions completed under extreme conditions. Decisions made that saved lives. Trust earned at levels few ever reached. When he finished, the commander stood. All personnel salute. Chairs scraped back in unison. Every person in the room rose to their feet. Hands snapped up, sharp and precise. Eliza stood as well, returning the salute with controlled grace. Outside, word spread fast. Conversation stopped mid-sentence. Training halted. Soldiers lined up along walkways as she passed. One by one, salutes followed. Not because they were ordered to, but because they understood what they had missed. The Navy SEAL from the yard stood among them. His expression was no longer amused. It was focused, respectful, and heavy with realization. When Eliza approached, he saluted first. Captain, he said. Permission to speak. Granted. I misjudged you, he said. That was my mistake. Eliza nodded. Judgment based on assumptions usually is, she replied. She did not humiliate him. She did not remind him of the laughter. She accepted the apology and moved on. Leadership, she believed, was not about winning moments. It was about teaching without crushing. Over the following weeks, the base changed. People listened more. They spoke less carelessly. They questioned their instincts and checked their biases. Eliza led by example, offering guidance when asked and correction when needed. She noticed the small things others overlooked, who supported their teammates quietly, who took responsibility without being seen. The SEAL who had joked with her became one of her strongest allies. He watched how she moved through the base, how she spoke to the newest recruit and the most decorated veteran with the same respect. He learned that strength did not always announce itself. On her final day, the base gathered once more. The commander thanked her for her work. The evaluations were complete. The lessons would remain. As Eliza prepared to leave, she paused and looked back at the assembled soldiers. Never forget this, she said. The measure of a leader is not how loudly they speak or how quickly they judge. It is how they carry responsibility when no one is watching. She turned and walked away, her boots echoing softly against the ground. Long after she was gone, the story remained. Not as a tale of embarrassment, but as a reminder. Rank could be hidden. Power could be quiet. Respect, once earned, never needed to be demanded. What did this story make you feel? Where are you watching from? Subscribe to Soul Relief Stories for more real stories that heal the heart.